This is Matt Walsh with your Minute with the Mayor for Thursday, January 14th, and it's Throwback Thursday. We look back at the history of Council Bluffs. Lake Manawa is an oxbow lake that was formed as a result of the Missouri River flood of 1881. An oxbow lake starts as a deep curve or meander in the river. A lake forms when the river finds a different, shorter course. The section left behind along the side of the river becomes detached from the river and remains as an oxbow lake. Both Manawa and Carter Lake are oxbow lake formations that separated from the Missouri River from whence they came. Manawa's commercial potential was first recognized by E.H. Odell of New York. Odell purchased land along the south shore where he established a bathing resort that he called Manhattan Beach. The city's elite took interest in the area, as did others who were seeking free medication when word spread that the lake's water contained minerals that gave unusual healing powers. At Manhattan Beach, the romantic and the prim and proper strolled the boardwalks next to the lake. Some chose to sit near the shore and people watch while sipping their lemonade, sarsaparilla, or a variety of other refreshing beverages. There were no sunbathers back in those days because civil decency mandated that few parts of the human body were left uncovered in public. In those days, people brave enough to wear a bathing suit used their bathing suits only for its intended purpose, which was to go swimming. Bathing suit fashions of the day were balloon leg cover-ups for women or long johns for men. But early development around Manawa was hampered by the long ride from town in horse-drawn vehicles. Recognizing that there was a need and an opportunity, a couple dozen local businessmen organized the Lake Manawa Railway Company in 1887. They built a rail line from town to the lake. The Lake Manawa Railway Company also purchased 10 acres along the north shore of Manawa, where they built a resort hotel to help stimulate traffic on their newly constructed railroad. Enthusiasm for Manawa was strong, and improvements came quickly on both sides of the lake. As the 20th century took hold, Lake Manawa was likely the most popular pleasure resort west of Chicago. On the north side of the lake, just east of where today sits Council Bluffs Country Club, was an amusement park that covered nearly 6 square blocks. Its roller coaster was said to be the largest and the longest in the West. There was an 800-foot boardwalk and a pier with a restaurant. There was a soda fountain and a saloon that could seat over 2,000 patrons. Various dance halls thrived over the years, as did a baseball park, a zoo, a shooting gallery, a bowling alley, tennis courts, and a bandstand, a vaudeville club, and an outdoor movie theater where they showed silent movies. During the day, mock sea battles were staged on the lake using decorated boats. Shuttle boats carried visitors and customers across the lake from the railway terminal to the south side, where in addition to Odell's Manhattan Beach bathing resort, was now the site of a horse racing track and a casino operated by Ben Marks. There was a French restaurant in the Kursaal, which was a magnificent dance hall built on piers over the top of the water. The definition of the word Kursaal is a public room at a health resort, and with its beer garden and large dance floor, the Kursaal at Manawa quickly became the signature feature of Lake Manawa's Southside Resort. But by the end of the 1920s, the amusement park had closed. The games of chance that had lined the midway and often involved fake winners or shills carrying around bountiful prizes that made it appear that winning was easy, when in fact the ornate spinning wheels being used in a number of the games of chance actually had secret braking systems that were controlled by the wheel's operator. Other games of chance used overinflated balls that wouldn't fit through the hoop, and ring toss rings that were too small to fit over the top of the bottles towards which the rings were being tossed. Manawa's glory days were soon over. The area's decline was attributed to a variety of factors, one of which was its spectacular success, which had not gone unnoticed by competitors. Omaha businessmen had developed Cortlandt Beach at Carter Lake, which became easily accessible to Omaha residents by streetcar. The Spanish-American War, and then a few years later, World War I, and its Spanish flu pulled potential patrons away. A switch in the gambling operations from relatively honest Ben Marks to the more unsavory Mabray gang, headed by J.C. Mabray, the alleged king of a band of swindlers who operated in all principal cities throughout the United States, began to give the resort a bad reputation, as these new casino operators reportedly bilked over $1 million a year out of their patrons. An Easter Sunday tornado in 1913 destroyed several buildings, including the popular Kursaal dance hall, and a fire in 1926 claimed the Grand Pavilion on the North Shore. The final straw arrived in the Great Depression of 1929, and by 1935, Manawa, once the Mecca of the Midwest, was nothing more than a mud puddle in the middle of a marsh. Years later, in 1940, 3 wells were created to provide Manawa with much-needed lake water, and then in 1956, a diversion dam was built and pumps were used to bring in Missouri River water into Manawa. A major dredging project took place in 1982, giving the lake greater depth, and today, 130 years after the first development at Manawa, a new lake dredging project just concluded, and Lake Manawa State Park thrives as one of the most popular outdoor recreation facilities in the entire metro area. That's your local history minute with the mayor. Do something kind for somebody, make sure to wear a mask when out in public.